it seems to me that we only take small, short trips
It seems
to
to
Bradford and Avon.
Yeah.
Like, it's always like a stop through, or we
Yeah,
just pop there quick.
Yeah, you're right,
or-
actually. You are right. I thought you were going to sing Candle in the Wind.
It seems that it
No.
depends who you think it is. Is it the Marilyn or is it Diana?
I got to say, just because of my generation, as much as I love the Marilyn version, it's Diana all day, every day.
Marilyn was the original.
I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm just saying, like,
I just think this is
like,
my personal
what,
opinion.
that's what mine was.
This is my personal opinion. I think it's really important. Is it was written for Marilyn originally, and he sort of like essentially regurgitated it for Diana. And I think
Changed
that's
a couple of bits.
I think that's insulting. He could have written her an original.
It, like.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm going to say it, but Lady Diana deserved more than that.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's what I think.
Anyway, let's not get into that right
if
now.
If someone gave me someone else's song, I'd be like, do one.
Oh, this is awkward.
Yeah.
You know that song I sing to you? I'm joking.
Anyway,
I don't sing
this
a song.
is the most exciting thing we picked up today. So there you go.
Enjoy this.
This is a Paul and Shark. Now, Paul and Shark Yachting is a brand that
we mentioned in the last video, actually.
A lot of resellers regularly pick up now.
Polo shirts and stuff like that, yeah? T-shirts.
Yeah, so they make a lot of T-shirts, a lot of polo shirts, like for the mass.
They make stuff.
The larger market. But they have a line of very expensive items. So this is a down puffer jacket. This would have retailed for around £700 to £800. It is in beige, which... I don't know. I don't think is the most appealing colour. Black,
yeah, I'm
navies.
with you. And I think, actually, because it's quilted inside and not outside...
Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know if it's as kind of visually pleasing, should we say? But there's a reason we picked it up.
However, it is an XXL. It is the Typhoon Wind edition, which I believe they changed to Typhoon 2000. And
Interesting.
And it has an embroidered arm as well, which I think is actually really nice.
I do show it in a minute.
It's embroidered in the same colour. Anyway, it was £16.50. And if anyone knows this charity shop or just knows charity shops in general, that is cheap for a big old padded puffer coat.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they were later on in the video. I'll show you something else, and yeah, I'll talk about it when it comes up. But the price wise, it was very good for the item. Sorry, go on.
Anyway, so what I've done is, because it is used and it does have a little bit of like what I would call signs of wear. So like, you know, it would benefit from a professional dry clean if you wanted to go to that effort. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But it is perfectly wearable and it's in very good condition. We've listed it for £275.
Yep. Retail, once again, for this coat.
7 to 8.
Yeah. So once again, this style of coat from this company with this particular kind of Typhoon Wind, like you said, Typhoon 2000, is what you want, basically. It's like the one.
But the techie stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, because once again, it is like you say, it's for yachting, it's for boating, it's for stuff like that, you know?
Going outside, wind.
Typhoons? Wind, yeah, typhoons. Either way, it's downfield, like we said, and that's once again this. If it'd been polyester, I mean, it's just not the same thing.
There's the logo there
they're talking about. It's embroidered. It's what I call a subtle flex. This isn't someone. So this is a great example of something that would cost much more than something than a t-shirt emblazoned with the whole logo, a very very subtle logo, which is actually kind of the same color as the coat. Because they're not flexing the brand. They're just buying the piece because they need the piece or want the piece.
You're buying it because of the performance of the jacket itself.
Exactly.
It's zipped and snap closure, and then it's got loads of cool little technical pockets inside. I can only assume that was for like one of the old school like Motorola Pebbles.
What a vibe. I was actually going to say as well, thinking about what I just said about the kind of the branding and stuff and lack of, if you want, and it being a higher end piece. Sometimes people say, "Oh, I found this, but I think it's a bit too boring. There's not enough going on." Now that's correct most of the time. With something like this, that's where your brand knowledge kind of has to kind of jump up a level. Because if you didn't know that, you'd be like, "Oh, it's a nice coat. It's 16 quid though." You know what? And it's not really so much of a logo, or it's knowing what that particular coat is.
Yeah, because if you pick up like a brand like Hermes or Loro Piana or something like that,
there's nothing to it.
They specialise in classic Italian tailoring. So.
This was the piece I was referring to. So I got 2 points to hit on this. Firstly, this was £25, I want to say, for a Ralph Lauren vintage chaps polo shirt, in comparison to that coat, which was a lot more money and a lot cheaper. Why I want to mention chaps as well, someone mentioned recently that for anyone who didn't know, chaps belong to Ralph Lauren. Incorrect. Ralph Lauren was licensed to chaps for a long time. Then they took the license away. So when you see chaps and it doesn't mention RL or Ralph Lauren on the label, it's not the same thing, and you cannot list it as Ralph Lauren. Some people do, or some people sneakily do it to kind of like, I guess, lull you into it. But the Ralph Lauren, for any collectors or people who are looking for that kind of thing, for me as well specifically, I would say the Ralph's Eva stuff is much. If that was £5, £6, £7, I would have bought it all day long. The non-Ralph chaps, No, it's not. It's not the same, and it's not made by Ralph. It's not licensed by Ralph. It's not the same thing. This was interesting. Talk to me.
Yeah, I wanted to point out this coat. It was from a brand. There we go, Greenstone. Was it Greenstone?
Yep.
Which I actually should do some research on. But retail on it was 189, and it was written on the tag, so it was newer tag. So they had put this coat up on the mannequin.
That, in fairness, could have been a sale price too.
Yeah, for £65. So it just shows you. It just shows you which house shops. If I find personally, if they're tagged and the tag has a price on it, it's danger zone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Whereas this coat would have retailed for like literally 7 times the price, and yet it's not even 65. It's not even. It's like half the price of what they got that one up for.
You make a really good point, actually. I haven't thought about that, but anytime you do see a price, even if the price is total BS, as in someone else written the price, the charity shop totally go on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? And we've seen that with kind of like lesser items as well, where like it's been in the sale for like, I don't know.
For example, in this town, there's a dress agency, and when they get donated end-of-line dress agencies, if the dress agency leave their tag on, they go off the dress agency tag.
And we've actually had, I think the video that last time we were here had double tags, and one of the tags was a dress agency tag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly that.
It was £1 more.
Yeah, in the charity shop than it was in the... Yeah. So it was more expensive.
Yeah.
In the charity shop.
So this is the cats and dogs. I love saying what charity shop they are.
I'm going to shout out that I actually think I should have picked this up. I'm a moron for not doing so. Yeah, it was a really nice New Balance backpack. It wasn't just a New Balance backpack. It was a techie one. I guarantee inside would have had a name. I was getting excited by all the kind of higher end rail and stuff here because there was a lot of it. And I just kind of put it down because we were talking at the time, if you remember. I think I should have looked that up. I guarantee if I look it up now, it's got to be at least 50 quid.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do.
We'll put it in here if it's worth any money.
Also, New Balance is like on that wave now from the new few sets of trainers they've had recently, or the retros, I should say. So I think the people are looking for New Balance in brand recognition in general.
I also think in terms of like sporting goods backpacks, when you're looking at vintage, the single straps sell really well, don't they?
Oh yeah, like the 2000 vibes.
Yeah, I was just thinking they had that kind of vibe, that like cocoon shell vibe.
Yeah, I agree. Like almost molded, if you will.
100%. So this shop has a premium rail and has a ladies premium rail. I pulled this out obviously and did some shooting. This was the Ishiko, which are owned by Oshka. It was £30. It was actually really nice. It was like a laser cut out floral, oversized boiled wool wrap kimono jacket.
Anyone who asks for titles on Instagram from us, please don't. Just listen to Bethany on a YouTube video because everything she says is a title.
Yeah. It's helpful, isn't it, though?
It is indeed. That's why I say it.
This is Parlay, sorry.
They did a collaboration with Adidas at one point, and they when like Ultra Boosts from Adidas were like the rage.
Yeah. It reminds
and they were worth a lot of money.
It reminds me of the Pirates of the Caribbean film where what's her name? Keira Knightley says parlay, and they have to take her to the captain of this pirate code.
Oh, there you go. There you go then. Cool. I'm down with that.
Everyone who understands pirate code
will know what you're talking about.
100%.
Us non-pirates won't get it.
That's reselling. Oshka, this is nice. Linen, oversized top. I think it was 18.
Yep.
I always use...
this was cool. Sorry to interrupt you. This was Black Label, I think, Diesel.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was something I just saw that was different.
Premium rails in charity shops aren't always the worst things. Firstly, they can indicate, 1, they get good donations.
Yep.
2, they can indicate that the charity shop actually doesn't know anything about brand labels and it's just a rail of white stuff, and then you know that you might be able to find some hidden gems for low money.
Yep.
If the equipment shirt, that's really nice too. And also it's good just for brand knowledge, learning brands, understanding what brands are worth a bit more. Like you can, for example, say there's a label you've never heard of. This was shrunk. Say there's a label you never heard of and they got it at £35. Well, there's a good chance that they Googled it and
it has some worth
on eBay.
So if you go next door and find it for £2, that brand, you're pretty on the money. Or do
your own research and see actually how much it is worth and whether it's worth you picking up if you find it in the wild or anything like that. I love a premium rail.
Do you know, you just made such a good point, which I don't think a lot of people... they were the... What's that brand? Remind me. Lucas Hugh. Yeah, so Lucas Hugh, sorry. HUGH. They're a really, really high-end brand of like leggings and gym wear. So keep an eye out for that. That's the logo. Once again, what I was going to say was, you just said at the beginning of this rail, it gives you a good indication they get good stock. So whether it's shipped in or they get stock locally, which I happen to believe is the second in this case, if they've got that much good stuff, inverted commas, or in their opinion, good stuff, I would say if you're good enough with your brand knowledge, you can go through this store, which we invariably do, but that's our job, to find the stuff they haven't seen. But it means there will be a good supply of good quality stuff which they haven't seen if they've seen that much good stuff they have seen. You see what I'm saying?
That was a riddle. That was like she sells seashells on the seashore.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Could you find a Paul Smith hat?
I wish.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Whoa, that's a big... See, people don't believe us. When you say that those things happen in small towns and villages every day, they will park at the pub.
Yeah.
Legit park at the pub, have a beer and get out.
Everyone deserves a pint at lunchtime. Next up, and right next door is, I call them the yellow charity shops, but they're... I can never remember what they're called. I'm not even going to say it.
Don't bother. Why
it always sounds like some kind of like... something
don't do
incorrect. Anyway, so this is either really hit or miss. This one is either really good or really bad. This chain of charity shops, though, however,
Mercy in Action. I just
Mercy in Action is, I always say Mercy the children.
God.
Is exceptional. This chain is the best chain in Somerset. Yeah, I said it. Apart from Oxfams, which everyone knows I love and no one understands why I love.
Everyone mentioned the other day. Someone mentioned the other day about Oxfam. In an Oxfam, I was like, Oxfam is one of the cheapest charity shops across the board now. Honestly.
Oh yeah,
I think as regards clothes, don't you think?
British Heart Foundation is obviously always going to be the most expensive.
Tis up.
But they don't know everything, and we have got some gems in there. Anyway, Austin noticed this on the mannequin. It is the Turtle of Joy.
I'm lurking. Look at him. I'm lurking. That's what we mentioned in a couple of videos ago about the Valbroquin turtle. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
It's on the mannequin. It's children's on the mannequin, but it's got the Velvequin back logo. It's also got the big turtle.
For those people thinking, what is he doing? And there's probably a sign in the window at some point saying, please do not touch the mannequins. Let us know if you want anything from the window. There probably was a sign saying that. I didn't see it, so legally I'm not obliged to do so. I took the t-shirt off. I did, however, redress the mannequin in the best way I could and then took the t-shirt to the desk.
And they didn't notice, so it's fine. Anyway, this was, so this is a kid's size. It doesn't need measuring because they've cut out the size tag.
They cut out the size tag, which is really annoying.
Which is bizarre, really, actually, isn't it?
No, it's not. On small people, I find the tags, they put them right in the centre underneath the Velvequin logo, and they tickle the neck, especially for children, so that's why.
This was a grand total of £1.
One whole British pound.
And it's just a t-shirt, but they should go for an easy 25 to 27.
And for a Bambino shirt, that's decent.
Yeah, I'm going to try it on our Bambino first, and then I will make my judgments. However...
you shouted that.
However, always check the mannequins. I found the Marc Jacobs shirt, for example, I found in, where did I find it? Caution the other day. I took it off a mannequin in the window, sold instantly within 2 days. They always they think they put the best... In
their opinion, they put the best stuff in the window.
I don't know. It's not always the case because if they're doing a coloured window, they just do it on colour. So I can't say that. But
yeah,
always,
I agree. February time, there's a lot of red in the window, isn't there?
But always check the windows. I thought this was some kind of funky vase contraption. Look, it lifts off the other vase, and I was so confused by it until Austin informed me that it was a lampshade, and there was.
There was one right next to it on the other side of the glass. I pointed out. And
do you know what?
There we go.
These things,
penny dropping.
You obviously have to. I know. You obviously have to sell on style, don't you?
100%.
Because they don't stamp them or anything like.
Because that could be from like 100 years. Well, not 100 years, like 50 years ago, or it could be from last week.
Yeah, they're really nice though.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
I actually really like that's where you spin it. I actually really like the way it looked when it turned. So it is a lampshade. I think that would be really cool.
My confidence is growing in homewares. I am getting more confident. However, I haven't reached peak confidence.
That's very cute.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, because it's like my hobby.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's cute. You're something you're interested in, you enjoy, and you pick because you like, as opposed to like you must buy this. It's blah 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 label.
There's this big saying, like, and I hear it from a lot of like YouTubers and resellers. Not every reseller knows. Not every reseller knows everything.
No, I agree.
100%.
100%.
But you can know
a
hell of a lot in your field, and I can be really open and say I don't know a lot about homewares, and I'm trying to learn as I go along.
Yes.
However, I know a lot about luxury fashion.
I was just going to say though, but I don't have an issue with that saying, which is you can't know everything. I agree, you can't know everything. However, when people say you can't be an expert, I disagree with that.
Yes.
That's the whole point. The word expert means something, so it is something, isn't it? You can be an expert, but knowing everything is impossible.
Isn't
agreed.
It 10 years. Master of trade is 10 years.
That's what they say.
Yeah. Hashtag master of trade. Oh, no, I there's another master that might have a problem with that.
track master of pieces.
Yeah.
We love you. Thank you. Goodbye.